different parts. They're like huge temples. They look like Roman temples with the big pillars. Well, one of the parts that they talked about is the healing temple. And I was told I could do a great service to people to let people know about this, because you don't have to die to go there. You can go there in meditation. You can go there in your dreams at night to the Temple of Healing. And they showed me long lines of people lined up. They've just died, and they have to go to the Temple of Healing first, like a cleansing, before they can go on to where they're supposed to go. And as they come in, there's always a guardian of each one of these parts. And the guardian of the temple, the greeters brought the person in. They take the person into the center of this dome-shaped room. And the top of the dome is full of beautiful stones of every color you can imagine. And the light comes down. It is just beautiful, shining down on the floor. And the person stands in the center of this and is bathed in this beautiful light. And what it does, it takes away any residue of anything that you've gone through, maybe the death or anything you've gone through in that life. It just washes it all away so that you can go on to where you're supposed to go. But they said if people wanted to go there and be healed, they could also picture it and go there at night, because they said they can tell the ones who are not dead. They see the silver cord trailing behind them. And they know that they're there for a different reason. Another part of the Temple of Wisdom complex is the tapestry room. And I've written about this in many of my books. The tapestry is huge, and it goes for miles. It's on one huge wall. And the people that have seen it said it's almost like it's alive. It's a fabric, but it's like it breathes. It's almost alive. And in this tapestry are many, many threads. Every one of you has a thread in the tapestry. It's the thread of life. And it's the story of your life is in these threads in this tapestry. And it shows how it all interweaves and all interconnects, how we all affect each other, and how we're all connected together. So it's like you're one, but you're also everything. So everybody affects everybody else in some way as it all interweaves. And they told us that it'd be very important for people to realize you don't know how much you affect other people. What you say, what you do affects everyone in your life. This is because we're all interwoven and we're all affecting each other. So the tapestry of life is very important. You can see we're all, once you understand these things, there's no prejudice, there's no judgment, because we're all the same. We're all trying to learn something and get out of this rat race off of the wheel of karma. We're all here for the same reason in this school. You can't judge people. They're just at different stages of their growth and different classes that they're taking. So the tapestry is very important. And it's been explained in several of my books, if you've read mine, about that, what happens when people go into the tapestry and go on the other side into our concept of time. Okay, and my favorite place is the library. Because every time I go there, there's always a guardian. Now, I don't go, I'm taking my person there, but I feel I've seen it enough that I know what it's like, and it's beautiful. There's a guardian of the library. So when you come in, I come with the person, and the first thing they want to know, oh, okay, it's you again. What do you want to know now? Because they know me. So that everything I've written about, my research, I ask them questions, I can have the information, because the library contains every information you can think of. This is how I got the information I wrote about Earth mysteries, about Atlantis, all these things by going to the library. Because the library has everything that is, all the knowledge that has ever happened and all the knowledge that ever will be, that we cannot possibly imagine, is all in this library. So to me, it's a most favorite place. And if you want, you can see it as books. You can see it as energy. People have asked me about the Akashic records. They're there also. You can have access to them. But this is the way you want to obtain the information. You can do it by reading or by accessing the scrolls or however you want to get it. But there are other ways to do it also, and this is how I've got a lot of the things I've written about. Along the sides of the library are rooms. In these rooms, it's rather like going in Star Trek in the holodeck. You step into those rooms, and if there's something you want to know about, it appears around you, and you're right in the middle of it, and you can see it happening. And that's how we found out about the lower astral. We didn't want to go there. They just took us there and showed us these things. So when you're in the rooms, you can see anything you want and have all knowledge that you want. So you can see why I love this, because this is where I get the things I write about, is in the library. It's just so wonderful. So that's the library. And the other places are the schools. Now they said in these schools, you also go to the level that you vibrate at, your frequency is at. You know, my idea of heaven, what they always talk about, floating around on a cloud, playing a harp, that'd be so boring. That's not for me. I'm always looking for information. My idea of heaven is the schools. Because in these schools, you can have all knowledge of anything you possibly want. Everything is possible to be learned over there. So I asked them, okay, if you can learn everything there is over there, why do you have to come back to Earth? Wouldn't that be easier? They said, no, because over there, it's like book reading versus hands-on experience. You can read about it, but you're not experiencing it. And they said you do. You learn a lot, but it'll take much, much longer because you're not having the hands-on experience, the interaction with people. Because they said, yeah, you can read about love, hate, jealousy. You say, well, it's not hard. I can do that. But you get down here, and you get in the middle of it. Everybody else's emotions. It's not easy at all. But you learn so much more than you would over there. It's just like if you went to college and took chemistry, you're in the laboratory. You can read about chemistry, you can read about the chemicals, but do you really understand it till you go into the library and start mixing the chemicals? You have to have the hands-on experience. The same way with learning auto mechanics. You can read about how a motor works and how to tear it apart and put it together, but do you really understand till you go and start taking it apart and putting it together? That's the difference. So they said that's why we choose to come back, because we can learn faster, we can pay our karma back, and we can be finished much easier. So we choose to come back, and we make our contracts with these other people. Now there is nobody sitting up there on a throne judging you and punishing you. People blame God for everything. Believe me, He is not doing this at all. You do it to yourself. You can't blame anybody but yourself. They say, I don't remember writing this script, but that's exactly what happens. You're the one who is writing this whole scenario. There's nobody up there who is judging you and punishing you. You see your life. You see what you have done. You see the people you have hurt. You make the contracts. You judge yourself. And there's no harsher judge than you yourself. You see, you're the one that are creating this because you know you have to pay these things back, and that's where karma comes in. So anyway, you make your contract, and you're ready to come back. Okay, you have your little package or your nice little plan. You come in and say, okay, I'm going to do all of this. I want to get it all done at one time. I want to really finish. I don't want to have to come back and do it again. This earth is hell. They've told me that many times. Earth is hell because that's where people hurt each other. It's not what you think it is. So that's why they don't want to really come here, but they know they have to in order to get it all worked out. So you make your plan. And the guides and the guardians and the elders and the masters are working with you as you're trying to make your plan. And sometimes they will give you 2 or 3 different scenarios you look at. This is the lives you could pick. Which one do you want to do? You want to be a man? You want to be a woman? Do you want to be an Eskimo? You want to be an Indian? What do you want to do? And you pick your scenario of what you want to be. Sometimes you want to take on too much because they'll say, I want to get it all done at one time. And they say, you know, it's not a very good idea. They can't tell you what to do. They can advise you, but they'll say, you know, it's going to be really hard if you do it like that. You said, oh, I don't care. I want to get it all done. It's like taking college and not leaving any time for extracurriculars. You just study all the time. You can't take it. It's too much. They said it doesn't matter if you get it all done at one time. You can always come back and do the rest. Do as much as you can, as good as you can. That's all you're expected to do. So they'll tell you, all right, if this is your decision, it's not going to be easy. We'll help you, but it's going to be hard. So you make the decision. You write the script. You pick the characters. You make all the agreements with them. I'm going to be your husband, wife, daughter. I'm going to meet you on a street corner sometime, and we'll be friends from then on. You try to write the whole scenario. You come in with your nice little plan, all wrapped up like a Christmas present. The problem is, this is a planet of free will. So everybody else is coming in with their nice little plan. So it's all going to clash. So what they always say about best laid plans, I've had them go through the death experience and they'll say, what happened? I had it all figured out. Life happened. So it's not perfect, but that's what it's all about. We're learning. We're learning lessons. We're trying to get better at it. We want to get off of the wheel until we can be finished and return to God and never have to come back here again. That's the idea. So we come in with our plan anyway. And to make it even more complicated, you're coming in with your plan, but you can't remember. Not allowed. What are the rules? Over there, everything is so clear, so plain, makes so much sense. But you come in, the blinders come down. You forget everything. And I asked them, I said, wouldn't it be a lot easier if we knew why we were coming here? We remembered. If we knew our connection with all these other people, wouldn't that make it a whole lot easier? They said, no, it wouldn't be a test if you knew the answers. So you've got to come in totally blind to everything. And what they call it, the blinders. And when you die, it's all taken off, and you say, oh, look at this, you know. Then you're back with total knowledge again. But when you come in, it's all shut down. I've had them go through the birth experience, and they're saying, gotta remember. Then they're born, and they'll say, I don't remember anymore. One of the reasons why babies, you know, they have to go for the first 2 years of their life learning how to crawl and to walk and to talk, because they're forgetting everything if they remembered anything at all. You've got to learn how to be a human being. It's not easy. During the first 2 years of a baby's life, it's still going back and forth. That's why you sleep so much. The baby sleeps so much. It's still going back to the other side, getting last-minute instructions and last-minute advice from the council. And this is why older people, too, you notice when they're getting older and you think they're going to die, they start sleeping a lot. They're actually going back and forth and getting their instructions, and they know when they're going to go. Now, I said in the beginning, they'll try to leave some time for some questions here. This is a big subject, and it's covered in, this is the book, it's called Between Death and Life. People always say, don't you have that backwards? It's supposed to be between life and death. No, it's between death and life. Whole new existence between what you think it is. I wrote this, it's been 15 years ago. It's in 20 different languages all over the world, and more coming. So people said it's very important, but it has all of the questions you could possibly want. It's a big subject, so I can't cover it all. I'm trying to hit the basics here. But see, where was I at there? Okay, you get down here then, and you have to start all over again with everything. Oh yeah, the exit plan. Part of your plan that you make, your contract, you decide how you're going to die, how you're going to exit. You got to have a way to get out of the body. Nobody dies until they are ready to die. That may sound cold, may sound hard to understand. They don't know this consciously, but on the other part where they have made their plan, they know they are planning to go out at a certain time. They know how they're going to do it. They say, well, it'd be interesting. I think I'll go out in a train wreck. I haven't done that for a while, so let's try that, you know. You decide how you're going to do it. And you're the one that actually makes the plan of how you're going to leave the body when the time comes. You go out in groups. Some people come in groups. They like to be in groups, and they'll say, okay, we're going to go out on an earthquake. We'll go out together. Are we going to go out with 9/11? Nothing is ever an accident. It's all planned ahead of time. So when you look, these things, you can look at all of this from a totally different perspective. That it's more of a plan to everything, and you realize. When you understand that, you can control your life, just like Ron was saying. I give lectures on that too. Once you realize everything in your life you have put there, you have created, you have done it. People don't like that because sometimes their lives are a mess. But when they realize you have put it in your life, if you've created it, you can just as easily uncreate it. Once you realize the power that you have, we are a creative being. We can do anything we want. But I like to think sometimes if the person makes changes in the way they want to go out, they can stay longer if they want to. Because I've had so many different things like this happen. But really, when it comes time to go, you have decided to go. Dr. Bonnet, who spoke here the last 2 years, I published 3 of his books, and he's a wonderful man. He was 45 years as a doctor, and he was the head of a hospital, and he was trying to teach how our minds heal the body. And he said that when he was in the hospitals, they would have a code blue, somebody with a heart attack, and it was an older person. He was taking his own sweet time getting to the room because he said he knew they wanted to go. Why keep them here? And he was waiting for, they want to go, let them go. And he said a lot of times he'd be standing around the bed with the other relatives, and they're all crying and everything, and he was telling them, let grandma go. She doesn't want to be here anymore. They're the only ones holding on to. He said she's sick, she's tired, she wants to go. But it takes another